What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another Should You Pull video where I give you my opinions for upcoming banners coming to the global version of the game. In today's video we are going to take a look whether you should pull for Lightning's LD and Burst weapon. There are going to be two banners for this one, and it is going to be the start of the level 80 era. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what her LD and Burst brings, and then we'll take a look at whether you should pull for this, or should I say these banners, at least in my opinion. So let's take a look at her LD first, which gives her the LD ability called Crushing Blow. This will have 3 uses initially, and this will cancel all the enemies' break status and then hit them with a 4-hit AoE Thunder Melee Brave plus single target HP attack twice. This will have an increased damage when attacking a single target and will have a 150% max Brave overflow limit. This will also inflict a Thunder Imperil to all enemies and will grant her 7 turns of Savior of Souls. This will be a special icon. For the next 2 turns, she will have no action delay, will not increase the turn count, and will not consume any ability counts, excluding some abilities, of course. That's the LD ability pretty much at this point. However, this still decreases the Summon, Friend, and Burst count. Now, Savior of Souls will increase her HP damage dealt by 20% and increasing the Stolen Brave overflow by 20%. This will also restore the party's Brave by 20% of their max Brave and will increase the party's Brave damage dealt by the party when breaking or attacking a broken target by 20%. Now, at 1 out of 3 limit break, this will increase her attack by 20% and increasing the Brave damage dealt by the LD ability. 2 out of 3, this will again increase her attack by another 20% and extending the Savior of Souls buff or special icon by 7 turns. And finally, at 3 out of 3, this will again raise her attack by 20% and giving the LD ability 1 extra usage. Alright guys, now let's take a look at her burst ability called Gestalt Drive, and I hope I pronounced that right. This will do a 10-hit Thunder Melee Brave plus HP attack twice, and having the maximum Brave damage limit increased by 50%, all the way up to 14,998 damage, and then the maximum obtainable Brave and HP damage limit will also increase by 50% all the way up to 149,998 damage. This will grant a 10-turn burst effect, which is going to be party-wide, increasing the Brave damage dealt of the entire party by 50% and increasing the Stolen Brave overflow by 30%. Now, when the Brave damage dealt when breaking a target or attacking a broken target will also increase by another 30%, and the HP damage dealt when breaking a target or attacking a broken target will increase by another 20%. The maximum Brave damage limit will increase by 20% as well, and the same burst effect does not stack. Alright guys, so after hearing all this information regarding Lightning's LD and Burst, what do I think of Lightning overall? Now, in my opinion, Lightning has dropped off, right? I can't deny that she has dropped off, but I think she's still one of the most viable characters to this date. In saying that, that's not including Lavinia fights. The main reason for that is Lavinia fights basically have mechanics that you need to abide by in order for you to beat them without anyone dying or the entire party wiping, right? Lightning likes to turn steal. That is one of her things. She has free turns as well with her breaks. Now, unfortunately, in Lavinia fights, these can be a blessing and a curse. If the character is doing enough damage to justify the free turns and counting down the orbs, then it should be fine. However, in Lightning's case, without the LD and Burst, she just didn't pack as quite a punch as she used to. The delay is still amazing with her EX Plus, and now with the addition of her LD and her Burst weapon, I think she can benefit from that now, whereas before it just wasn't enough. Now her LD obviously will give you free 2 turns and then give you 2 extra ability usage for her entire kit, right? Basically, you're gonna have to choose between skill 1 and skill 2, but that's pretty much what we have right now. Maybe in the future this can be something else, but in the meantime we are kind of stuck having to choose between skill 1 or skill 2 for those free ability usage. The other thing that the LD adds is the Party Brave Battery, which is very, very nice. So Lightning was also considered one of the most selfish DPS previously, back in the level 50 and level 60 era, but now with the EX Plus, she was okay because she had that turn delay. She was doing enough damage. Now granted, back when she had her EX, I do believe that she still got her delay, but not as good as she has it now, because she has a lot of free turns in addition to that, and she obviously had the rework. So having a Brave Battery for the party is actually a pretty good addition for Lightning to be more viable to play around with other party members. Now obviously with her burst, this improves tremendously for 10 turns, not the Brave Battery part, but the viability of her playing with other party members or other characters. In order for her to eat, she is able to increase everyone's overall brave damage and HP damage to boot. Now you might seem to think, well, 10 turns is actually quite a lot. That is insane. You have to remember that Lightning is a very fast character, and 10 turns might turn into 5 turns because of her speed. And so what a lot of veteran players tend to do is actually take off her speed boost passive. I needed to say boof. Boost passive. But for me personally, I haven't had the need to do that. However, I do know some players do recommend taking those off and therefore enjoying the burst effect much longer than you would normally. So I guess that is one of my tips for you guys if you do want to enjoy that burst effect, which is honestly not too bad. You get increased brave damage overall, obviously increase HP damage as well. It's nothing to joke at or laugh at as well. These are very, very good party-wide buff effects. So overall, I think Lightning is definitely one of the best characters currently, at least at the time of her release. The character definitely a must-have in terms of single target damage. Now, I really want to emphasize that a single target specialist, she doesn't really have any AoE HP damage. So if you're a new player coming in, this is probably not the best character to start with in terms of clearing early content, because you want AoE damage overall for that one. However, if you're thinking long term, then Lightning is definitely going to help you clear a lot of content in the game, not just in the past content but future content as well. Now I do have to remind you guys, obviously being a DPS character or a main DPS role character, they tend to fall off in terms of like the meta, because much what they bring are damage overall, and there's always going to be better damage dealers later down the track. So she will fall off, but honestly speaking, I am kind of biased and I'm admitting that, because Lightning is my favorite character. So I would still probably pull, even though she probably isn't going to last that long in terms of like meta wise, right? I'm saying that and I'm trying to emphasize that because even though she won't be part of the meta, I still believe you can insert her here and there, because there are going to be fights in the future that are going to stop you from using Lightning, and that's just a fact. Because of her thunder element, she will not be viable on those particular fights where thunder is being absorbed. Now, even though she can imperil, it is still not recommended to bring her along in those particular fights. Alright guys, so we're finally towards the end of this video, and I think I've spoken about lightning quite long enough. So let's just answer the last question, is should you pull? Now, to me, I'm pretty biased because lightning is my favorite character in the Final Fantasy mythos or the entire games. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna go all in on this one. Definitely pull. But in saying that, Lightning's Burst is still going to be available in the next 2 banners that are coming up, which is Camelot's event, Lost Chapter, and Reno's character event. So her burst is going to be available in those particular events. So I would say chase the LD for now. And again, the best case here is you do get both. And then the second best is you get the LD and then you can grab the burst on Reno's event, because Reno's gonna be a new character, so it's very highly likely that a lot more, you would pull more on that, because that is a brand new character. You're gonna get more new weapons than you're not. So yeah, that is an option. For me personally, I'm gonna be using tickets for this one because I do just want her LD at in this point in time. If I do get the burst, we all know burst first is a curse, so that just means that I might dip in on the gems again. But my first instinct is just go with the tickets and see if I can get her LD, and that's only because now the banners for this event is actually pretty good, if I do say so myself. It's just that I already have all of them, and that's the only reason why I am going with the tickets for this one first. It's because the first banner, which includes her EX, and then you have Edge, and then Vincent, I already own those EX weapons and I don't really want them anymore. The second banner, which is I think the better banner overall, if you already have Lightning's EX weapon, includes Zack, Raijin, and Penelo. And I think Penelo is still a very, very viable character as well. And Raijin is also a very, very good character to pick up as well. Zack is, unfortunately, at this point in time, has fallen off as well, but he is still a very good tank. Like, I would still recommend pulling for him. There's an abundance of not events, but past content that you can actually beat with Zack. So I still highly recommend pulling. If anything, it would be on the second banner. You can still get Lightning's LD and burst weapon on that banner. So that's just my personal take on which banner is better. But seeing the case for me that I already own all of these characters' EX weapon, it doesn't really matter to me. So I am going to say I'm going to be using tickets, but obviously your situation is going to be different from mine. So just pick the banner that you have more to gain. That is usually the best way, right? So anyway, like I said before, the only reason why you're not going to be pulling for this is basically if you don't like Lightning. And if you don't really want a single target specialist, you prefer AoE specialist. But even then, I still think Lightning is worth pulling, but that is obviously up to you. There is also that enchant lock to the thunder element for Lightning, so if there's like a thunder absorb enemy, she won't be doing damage. She can imperil, and I think if you do imperil, you can eventually do damage. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the case is it's not recommended bringing lightning in those types of situation anyway. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help this channel, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And I just want to say thank you very much for all the support, for all the people who have had my back. I just can't thank you enough. It's been a real roller coaster this last few months, but thank you very much. And yeah, follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming, and leave down in the comments below as well if you're planning to pull on this one, and which banner do you think is the better banner. Leave it all down there in the comments below. This is Munchkins logging off. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.